Tyree, what up?
So, bro, chilling.
How's everything, my brother?
I'm good, bro. Another day, man.
Another day. We alive. We above ground. Nothing to complain about.
hmm That's a fact. What's the topic for today, brother?
Today, the topic is guys who are the most successful with women and men who are the most desired tend to be the men that trust women the least and tend to be the men that are more are less likely to commit uh, to women. Let's go. Let's get it. This is something that I wanted to talk about because I've noticed it's always the men who are the Chads, the Tyrones, the men that are the bad boys that have to be, chased down and have to be like worn down to get into a relationship. Where the men who are more naive, the men who haven't really experienced female nature, the men who are a little bit, wet behind the ears, the guys that are green, those be the guys that are quick and readily available for a relationship. And that's kind of interesting to me. I know why, but I just wanted to present this topic so we can break this shit down for the people.
Yeah, I mean, you pretty much hit it on the head.
So so
Um,
so my whole thing, Ty, with that is I always said this, bro. Whenever a woman cheats, whether it be a girlfriend or a wife, whenever a woman is a girlfriend to a guy or a wife to a man or to a guy in a relationship, she has to be cheating with somebody. So when she's cheating, she's typically cheating with the guy that is the asshole, the guy that is good with women, the guy that is desirable, the guy that is charming, the guy that knows what it takes to be desired, right? By females. So when she's cheating, he's behind the scenes with that girl. So he's hearing her put her boyfriend on mute. He's hearing her put her husband on mute. He's hearing her tell her husband, I'm with my girls, I'm chilling. Or like I'm on a girls trip, but we're just having fun with the girls. He's behind the scenes. He gets a chance to take a peek behind the curtain to see how, this shit is really, constructed. So when you look at it from that perspective, I can see why those kind of guys are the guys that just want to have fun and not put their heart into a situation and not get married or not take a girl serious, for long term commitment. And then the guys that never had a chance to like really be intimate, right, with women at that level, or men who never seen what a woman is capable of, right? They tend to be naive. They tend to be, not experienced with experience in that. So for them, it's like they'll believe anything a woman says, and they'll believe that those women don't behave a certain kind of way. So it all makes sense to me, bro.
Side niggas see the worst in women.
So that
If you
people,
ever been in side niggas see the worst. If you ever
yeah,
been a side nigga before, you've seen everything you're describing. If you ever been with a girl who lied about having a boyfriend and you found out later, you seen a little bit of that. You get disgusted. Um, yeah, I've had situations where I was with girls who, like you said, they've called their boyfriend before we've done things. So after you see that, it does change your mind. But also, when you have an abundance, like as far as multiple women, it's also hard to pick. So I think it's two factors that make guys who are at that level not commit. One of them is, like you said, is seeing the other side, is realizing that uh, a woman happily married will cheat. A woman that seemingly has a perfect relationship will cheat. Um, you start to become jaded, and you don't. If you realize if it can happen to this guy and this guy and this guy, that you're not that much different. So then becomes very hard to trust women. Um, yeah, that's pretty much it. I think it
also
happens on both sides, but yeah.
wanted to add this too, is that once you start dealing with women, when you're at a certain position of power and you're dealing with them, and you see how sometimes how easy it is to be in an intimate situation with these women, you're like, damn. And there's nothing wrong with this. Again, if a person chooses to do whatever they want to do with their body, it's fine as long as it's consensual. So with that out of the way, when you're the type of guy that gets the opportunities to have one night stands, or you sleep with girls on the first night or second night, or after the first date, you're like, damn, it only took me a date or a conversation or a phone call. We met up and we got right to it. But then yet she's giving a guy a harder way to go. It's like, why would I put myself in a position to potentially marry a woman and pay the full price when there's other men out there who's getting access to her sexually without having to put forth what I'm putting forth? Right? Like, just from that perspective alone, you're like, I'm not pedestalizing, but I'm putting her in a wife category, in the category of, oh my God, that's my wife, that's my girl, it's the future mother of my kids. But yeah, another guy was able to get access to her after a beer or a wine, or get access to her after a dinner date, or just not even a date, just spend some game. So it's like, how do you feel as a man understanding that, knowing that? Can you go to sleep at night, comfortably? So it's like, I understand, bro. When you get a chance to, it's like they say, when you see how the hot dog is made, like I said before, when you get to see behind the scenes how shit really is, it makes you kind of be hesitant in giving up your commitment that quick, bro. Because one thing done wrong can ruin your reputation. That, a woman that you're married to, have kids with, she can do something and your whole reputation is ruined. So it's like, what do you do, bro, if you're that kind of guy, Tyree, and you're the kind of guy that has slept with an abundance of females, you have access? How do you come to a point where you're like, you know what, I can trust this situation, that it's going to be suitable for what I'm looking for? It's tough, bro. This is why the guys that's the players, they're the ones that never want to settle down, bro.
Yeah, there's two things. To answer your question, I guess first, what do you do once you have that revelation? Is you make sure that whatever woman you're dealing with at the time, that whatever you're getting something out of that situation as well. You understand that women are going to benefit from just being around you or dealing with you or whatever, if you're the kind of man that you are.
No. I'm not
So
saying
you
that.
just
I'm not saying that as far as making sure that you're not getting used. I'm saying, how can you come to a place where you're
you
comfortable enough?
no, you'll never trust is what I'm telling you. You'll never trust because
You
you've
should
seen so much.
Did you ever trust?
No, you don't trust. What I'll say is you make sure that what you're getting is beneficial to where, as if the situation was to end, you don't end feeling like you over invested. If you can feel like at least I broke even, like, yeah, some guys I feel like they get so upset because you over invested. You were
No, I'm not.
taking her there.
But no, Ty, I'm not. So the question is not making sure that you get a girl who invests in you like you invest in her. My thing is, why should you commit to modern day women knowing that a lot of times they are not who they present themselves to be? That's the question. So the question is not, how do you ensure that you're not getting used, or the
I'm
girl is.
not saying that you're sure. You can never really trust, bro. Trust is like it's a leap of faith. So either you're gonna just say fuck it, I'm gonna just trust this person because of whatever. But if you're gonna try to base it off of something, you I guess you could try to base it off of character. But even the people with some of the best character cheat. Even the
Yeah.
women that you think are not that way cheat. So it's like you can't base it off of that. That's why I keep saying, if you, as long as what you're getting is beneficial, if the situation ends at any point, because it can end at any point. That's what I'm saying. Like, you don't know. Like, it could be tomorrow you find out the girl you think you loved and was your fucking angel is whatever. But if you don't feel like you did so much for a girl and you didn't get nothing out of it, I feel like it's easier to take the L.
No,
What I'm saying is, you're not. You're never
Okay.
gonna be able to trust, bro. You just have to pay attention. You have to
But
always be paying attention.
no, but my thinking is it's not about the main concern being you being used or not, you know, or the interest or the what's given to each other is not mutual. I'm saying, how do you how does it feel to give your commitment or your last name to a woman that is not who she says she is in regards to what she's accepted from other men or how she behaves around other men? Not that she doesn't care about you or she's not or she's using you. My thing is, remember the original topic is why do men why are the men who are the players and the playboys why are they more most likely uh not to get into, I'm sorry, why are they least likely to get into relationships more so than guys who never had a chance to really like engage with females,
We
you know?
answered that question, and then I said I moved it forward. And then you said we answered the question. There's two reasons. One, you've seen the worst of women. You've seen committed women do promiscuous, crazy shit. Then I said that they have abundance. When you have a lot of options, you're not going to pick one. That's the answer to that question. Then we went on to talk about, you were saying, well, what do you do with that feeling? And what I'm saying is you make sure that any situation you're in, that it benefits you enough to where if it ends at any point, it's not about making sure you're not getting used. It's that you can't trust nobody never. Can cross you tomorrow, but you need to make sure it wasn't a waste of your time completely. That's what
So
I'm saying.
fans get something out of it, at least like make sure you
Yes, because it can go down tomorrow. Like you don't so at least if you say, well, yes, I took out on dates and here and there, but this girl's cooking for me every day and doing my laundry and doing this and that. It wasn't just you just investing in her and over investing in her, and you just get something out of it. Is what I'm saying. Because it can end. There's nothing else you can do. All
got
you can do is date. Use your best discernment. You learn as you go. Keep your head on the swivel blindly. Like if shit don't make sense, it probably don't make sense for a reason. Like you can give them a benefit of the doubt, I guess, but always keep your head on the swivel. That's just what it is.
you.
Like after
You
you've
ladies,
seen that shit,
uh-huh. Yeah, I'm sorry.
so I'm not saying after you see shit like that, that's the only thing you can do because you don't know who to expect it from. Because
Yeah,
like I said, the girls that you think wouldn't would. The girls you think hadn't done that have. So
yeah. And ladies, you can't blame men for not wanting to commit. The men that you want, the men that you find valuable, the men who are desired by a bunch of women, you can't blame them guys for like not wanting to commit and get married. You have to give them time because they seen some shit. Those men seen the worst. Those men were the men that were sleeping with the wives and the girlfriends. And you know what I'm saying? The all the women that just came out of relationships or got divorced and husbands begging to get them back. Those are the men that's there that they're sharing those experiences with. So you can't really blame those men for not jumping head first into relationships because they're like, I've seen it. I don't trust it. So I understand it, bro.
and also to add one last thing is the phone conversations that are not the phone conversations, the conversations that she tells you about other niggas. If you ever been a guy and a girl's told you about how she's done other corny niggas and how other guys have been friend zoned and I cheated on this guy because he was weak, or I left this guy because of this, and you start to realize how fickle and how uh just a woman would cheat at the drop of a hat for the craziest thing. There's women who will be with you and say, "Oh, he wasn't paying me enough attention," but this guy pays for the whole house, and y'all have 3 kids together. And he has to work for that, and
Facts.
she'll sit there and justify that to you and say, "This is why I'm with you right now." But you're like, "No, honestly, I'm kind of rooting for that nigga. I feel bad almost. I'm still gonna crack, but I feel bad." Because it's like he's working to try to keep up some shit, and you don't even have the sympathy to hold it down or the understanding to hold it down. But
And the
yeah,
fact
that's
guy too, he's not he's not committing to what you're committing to get the same access that you're getting. Think about it. You got a guy that comes in that hasn't invested into that woman like you invested in. He put like not even a percentage of what you put in, and then he's able to get sexual access while you had to put so much in just to be able to get access to a female. in that capacity. So it's just not. It just makes no sense, bro.
Yeah, it makes you minimally invest. That's what I will also say. Yeah, it makes you invest a lot less. You like, okay, if I have to do all that, then she must not like me,
Facts.
because there's niggas who ain't got to do all that.
Facts. Do actually do nothing.
Yeah, yeah,
Facts. So
yeah.
yeah,
That's in closing for me. That's it.
yeah,
I don't got nothing else to say on that. Men who've been around the block shy away from commitment. They've seen too much. It's like a war veteran coming back and telling you what it's really like out there.
facts. Facts. Nah, bro. I appreciate your input. That shit makes a lot of sense. Um, Another topic down. The Goss
That's
Podcast.
a fact.
That's
Right,
it.
right. Peace.
Peace, bro.